Good morning, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful people. Today we're going to be talking about crime on YouTube. Have you ever heard of that before? Crime on YouTube. What does that mean? It can be as little as stealing someone's content, like you doing a video. Let's use what I did this week. So I talked about the Melanie GIBB interview that was done on August 4th, and East Idaho News put it online August 6th. So I talked about the East Idaho news clip of Nate Eaton and Melanie GIBB. So let's use this just for starters. So this past week is what I had said from, I think it was Saturday night on, and this is 8 days later. This is Sunday. So what I had said in that week's time was that Melanie GIBB did know, in my opinion, that Charles Vallow was worried that Lori was trying to kill him. And why did she know? She knew because Lori locked him out of the house the night before. Charles called the police to let him in. He told the police her story. He told the police that Lori had changed immensely in the last few months. Now, who were the two new people in Lori's life in those few months? Melanie GIBB and Chad Daybell. They had met around September, October of 2018. And here it is, January 31st, 2019. And Charles is saying, hey, my word, my wife has changed. She's gone bonkers in the last few months. Those aren't his words. I'm just paraphrasing. He said that she talked of murdering him, so on and so forth. The next day, he calls the police station asking where in the process was the papers that he had submitted for the police to pursue Lori so that she could be taken involuntarily or voluntarily to the community bridges where she would have a committal assessment. What that really means is an assessment, so whether she was a risk for other people or herself. Was she a threat to anyone, or was she a threat to herself? Well, we know she wasn't a threat to herself. We got that picture clear now, right? But at the time, Community Bridges assessed her as being no threat to society. None, zero. Okay? So let's take that for an example of how people can assess people. That's a prime example. So with that said, how can we as YouTubers, meaning if you're a subscriber to a YouTube channel and that person, the creator of that channel, comes out and tells you a story, but that story has already been told by another creator. It was their own creative juices. What do I mean by that? If it's not fact, if it's not written in a document, and if it's someone's theory, it is their theory. It's nobody else's. You know, when you have a theory, that's your theory. And when you talk about it publicly. So my theory in the past week was, boy, Melanie GIBB's a good liar. You know why she's a good liar? She couldn't have liked Lori that much. You can't meet someone in 3 months and be so loyal to them. So there was a different thing going on with her personality. It wasn't loyalty Lori by any means. There's no way that you meet someone and in 3 months you're so entranced. And she's not even of nobility. She's not a U.S. senator. She's not the mayor. She's not the legislator. She doesn't run the legal assistance program for the state indigent. She is just Lori, a woman who claims she's LDS and who claims that she knows all the scripture of LDS, frontwards and backwards, just knows it. She's almost, a guru on LDS. Go to Lori. She doesn't work. Her husband takes care of her. She runs around. She takes money out of his accounts and does what she wants with it. So here we got someone. So what makes Melanie GIBB so fascinated with Lori in a 3 to 4 month time? I mean, what was it? Her fancy house? Because Charles rented her, it looked like a mansion of sorts. You know what I mean? So because Charles rented her does that mean you go to someone's house or you go to someone's channel and you get fascinated with the person because they seem like they have more, whether it's their intuition, whether it's their goods, what they have procured through their life, whether it's their smarts, whether it's their glib and funny attitude. Do we just get sucked in? Do we just get sucked into people when we're older? I mean, let's pardon. Let's give our gubernatorial pardon to teenagers. Right now, I'm going to declare that in the United States of America, that all teenagers are exempt of ridicule because they're teenagers. But we're not talking Melanie GIBB. We're not taught. She's not a teenager. She's been around the block, as they say, in a good way. She's lived life. So why does a woman of her age all of a sudden become mesmerized with Lori? And more so with Chad. And she even goes on public TV public TVs and tells Dateline, Chad's a good guy. Oh, I love Chad. Oh, Lori. Oh, I'm so sorry for Lori. She can't be as pretty as she'd like to. That is so shallow. Shallow. What if Lori was filled with warts? What if Lori had lost her nose to cancer? What if Lori didn't dye her gray hair blonde? What if Lori didn't get her face injections? As you can see now, they're dropping because she's been in jail. All her injections and all of the things that were making her look youthful, now we're getting to see the real Lori. Just, and poor girl, you got to admit, you can't fault someone because of their DNA, but just look at Janice Cox. I mean, that didn't happen overnight. But anyways, that's off the subject. The point is, how do you admire someone? And how do you care if they're pretty? And how do you care if Chad's a nice guy when you're also saying on the flip side that he was involved with killing kids because you're telling the country before the kids are found that they're no longer on this earth. Those are your words. They are no longer on this earth. So I'm just checking to see if I'm talking to myself or if I got people here. So good morning Sunday to everybody, or if it's your Monday, or if it's not quite your Sunday. Good morning, everybody. This is Sunday morning Gram chat that we're going to try to have. Now, I'm going to share with you. So why I'm griping about this is because anyone I've met on YouTube as a creator, I haven't taken to them. I don't worship them. Why don't I worship them? Because There's no reason to. They're just another flavor in amongst many other flavors. I'm going to share this with you. If anyone has taken other than with me with my disability and speech, but because of course I can't help that, but if, and I have to let you know, that's why I talk with a lot of pauses, and I do a lot of stuttering, and I do a lot of repeating myself. You get talk in the deaf community to keep repeating yourself. That way the people that are reading your lips can get the message clearly. You don't get taught to just say your statement once. You say it again and again so that the deaf community can understand you. So, but when someone comes online and they give you a sad story, think about it. Has anyone as a YouTube creator come online and said, oh, I had this perilous thing going on in my life? Have they just grabbed your heart? Have they just used a perilous story to make you want to go towards them because you kind of think of them somewhat helpless? Well, that's what happens with these cults. They'll tell you that there's something wrong. And because of that wrong, follow them because they know better. So what I'm going to tell you is, if anyone has told you online as a creator that they've had these awful circumstances other than health, some awful in their life, and that's how they come on YouTube, they're being coy. They're trying to get subscribers by attaching your heartstrings. I'm going to see. So watch out for those creators. You shouldn't have to worry about what they've gone through. That's a tactic. I've heard it on YouTube. I've heard people using their we all have our tale of woes. I could go on for many, many times. Hi, everybody. I can go on and on about my tale of woes. And you'd be interested because some of my tales of woes are really, really interesting from the point of social dynamics. But to come on as a creator and talk about their tale of woes to draw you in, now you're committed to them. Now you're committed to them. This is the psychological aspect of reeling in people. Good morning, everyone. Melmac, Stephanie, Kat, Georgie, Lauren. Good morning. So I'm just saying watch out for that. But what else am I going to say? I'm going to make this short today because I really want this to be a short, exacting kind of chat on Sunday morning. I want to make it so that I make a point and I don't go all over the place. Good morning, Christine. So anyways, yes. So I'm going to say this term, beware of darkness. What is beware of darkness? Beware of when someone uses their darkness, talks on a public forum about what happened to them and made them a vulnerable situation. Because what they're trying to do to you is say to you, now that I've exposed my vulnerability to you, now that means you be supple to me. It's an exchange. And I'm telling you, beware of that darkness. Their darkness has no reason that they're a crime creator. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I've been very, very suspicious because I've been watching YouTube crime for a couple of years. When I say a couple, I've been watching it faithfully since YouTube came alive in 2005. But I'm going to tell you, in the last couple of years, since the Watts program, as far as creators were developing shows, that's when I really got interested in really watching different creators. So what I'm going to tell you is I've seen them all. You guys aren't going to mention a creator to me that has been online for 3 years more, because I know them all. I watched all their shows, meaning I was faithful to everyone. I didn't select one creator. Why? Because I'm not a follower. Because I don't believe in cultish behavior. Why don't I believe in cultish behavior? Because when everyone wants me to be loyal just to them, that I got a problem with that. But that's not really what it's about in crime. What I started noticing, and I noticed it about 6 months ago, someone came in as a creator on YouTube. And when I tell you thousands, I mean, they were getting thousands and thousands of subscribers during one show. You couldn't watch the numbers. They were spinning worse than in Las Vegas. You know, the number tally of who they got for likes and subscribers, they were going speed lightning fast. So I wrote the creator and I said, how's that working? And the person told me I just didn't understand YouTube. And I'm thinking, how are you telling me I don't understand YouTube? I've been watching it since 2005. You just came on less than a month ago. Now you're telling me I don't understand it? I understand YouTube. No one gets thousands of viewers or likes or subscribers in one show. And I mean 1,000. It could be 15,000. Okay? So then I noticed, I wrote to a creator and I said, hey, creator, what's up here? I said, what's up? I keep getting messages from this new creator. It's like they're trying to get me over to their station. I'm not going to subscribe to that creator's channel because I don't know of them. And I don't know if I want to be a subscriber of their channel. But I keep getting messages. I asked the creator, I said, how is this creator setting me up to get the messages about her channel? I don't want them. I don't want to be interrupted when I'm on YouTube and get a message. They said this creator, who's been on forever, for at least a decade, if not more, said, I don't know how they're doing it. It's corrupt. So I'm going to list off some of the corruptness that I have found on YouTube. One thing is if you talk about a subject on YouTube within 24 to 48 hours, or maybe even sometimes a week, you can be assured whatever your ideas were are going to be their ideas. Not that they have to say, these aren't my ideas. But what they can do is say, I heard this somewhere else. You know what I mean? And I'm borrowing this idea because it's their theory, not mine. But these YouTubers, they come on like it's their theory. And I've said this the other day. It's like selling a beautiful exotic dress in your dress shop on Main Street, which we know Main Streets don't happen anymore. We don't have Main Streets. But anyways, it's like selling a beautiful exotic dress. And on the first day that you sell that dress, people are coming in because you got it in your window. And people at Custer dress shop, you know, doors over, has that same exotic dress in their window shop. This is YouTube. This is the crime creator. Is that a crime? I don't think so. Is it not in good taste? I think so. I think it's very poor taste when I talk about Lori in a crime show that afternoon, and that night someone opens a live talk about Lori and how she presents. Then the next day, a creator puts a 10-minute segment of showing how she is. It's just not in good taste. Is it in bad taste when I talk all week long about that interview with August 4th with Nate Eaton, and how I think Nady Eaton did a poor job in that interview because he led Melanie. He, instead of letting Melanie say what she thought, he said it for her. It was the opposite. He should be asking the questions to prompt her to say what she thinks, not what he wants to say it as he says it. So for a week now, I've been complaining about Melanie GIBB saying that she didn't know that Lori had murder on her mind. Even though I'm telling you that I think Charles told her that morning, January 31st, 2019, that Lori had murder on her mind. So when Charles got killed on July 11th, ambushed in Lori's house, why didn't that prompt Melanie GIBB to go to the police and say, wait a minute, I heard Charles with his own mouth talk about someone wanting to murder him. So that's what I'm saying to you. People will, and I'll let this boat go by. People will take things that you say that week or those 2 days or those 3 days, and they'll make a YouTube video about it. They can't resist. It just eats them to pieces, not to let you have your moment of talking about your theory. They got to dissect it. They got to say they thought of it. So you can go on. It's your freedom of YouTube, but you can go on and look who made Melanie GIBB's videos just in the last couple of days about that interview on August 4th. And you can ask yourself, what is their motive? Is their motive because they're really true crime people, or is their motive about getting counts? What it counts? Subscribers and likes and viewership. So if this is what it's all about, if it's about all of that stuff, hi everybody, hi Kevin, hi Danielle, hi DJ, hi Leanne, hi Kat, hi Taka, a lot of Taka, it's me. I'll change my name. I got to change my name. She's got her name as Talk a Lot of Kaka. I'll change mine, Talk a Lot of Malaki. Anyways, so the part that I'm going to get into, and that's why I labeled it, whatever I labeled it, I can't remember. It doesn't show me on my little chat thing. It doesn't show, but I'm talking about crimes. What I just said about people taking your, if you got emotion in something, meaning you got something in motion and you're excited about talking about it, like I was about that. I thought that Melanie GIBB knew on January 31st of 2019. I thought, yes, she knew that Charles told her that Lori threatened to kill him. So why on July 11th, when he did get killed, yes, he got killed. That's what Charles had probably told her on. Then I was so excited this week to share with you all about that, right? But now we're going to have a flow of other people, just like when I shared with you about them having a 15-year relationship, Charles and Alex, and Alex showing no signs of care about having a relationship, right? He didn't say, I just lost my pal, I just lost my brother-in-law. He didn't say, I'm besides myself, I can't take it, I'm not going to be able to live, I'm not going to be able to take another step in life without feeling, sorry of what I've done to Charles. He did none of that. So then we get a big creator that comes on, and I'm talking big, and she says the same thing, just in different words. So this is what I'm telling you. So are these crimes, or is this just stealing the exotic dress? I think it's just stealing the exotic dress. But what is a crime, and what I've been alerted to, is you guys all know when a certain YouTube creator got online and during her live, she got swatted by the SWAT team. Some corrupt YouTuber called the 911 and said something about her husband was trying to murder her whole family. So the SWAT team got called to her house. Okay, that's an extreme, right? That's a real extreme. Like I'm talking, that's a crime. That was just recent, like within the last year, right? And it happened more than once, and it happened to more than one creator that they started sending out, they call it swatting. So that's the extreme of YouTube crime channel criminal activity. But I'm going to talk about the lower end, on the other end of the continuum, when they hire someone to break into your channel, because that's what I have found out. God bless, I have found this out. I have found out that they actually hire people, like a creator that doesn't like you, or let's call it, we're not going to call them subscribers, because if you're a normal subscriber, you're just a subscriber and you listen to their content, and that's the end of the day. But let's call it their fan base. They're kind of cultish. They kind of have a cultic premise about them, meaning they're cultic because they follow their creator as if that creator is godlike. And that creator gets some kind of benefit from having that kind of following. So I'm not going to call them subscribers. I'm going to call them their fan base. So their kind of nutty fan base will do things for their creator that is against laws, maybe, definitely against business practices and ethics, definitely against morals, and definitely against being a kind human being. So that's what we're talking about here. And this is why I wanted to do this gram chat. I want to get it off my chest. I'm going to tell you I went surfing yesterday and I killed myself trying to surf yesterday. The waves were tall and there was a big undertow because there's some kind of storm coming up the west side of Florida. So we're feeling the effects of it. But anyway, so I'm going back surfing this afternoon. So I'm going to keep this short. But the other reason I want to keep it short is I don't want to veer off base of what I'm saying. So we got the criminals on one end of the crime channel who send the SWAT team pretending that someone's in trouble. So a SWAT team ends up at someone's house with their guns drawn, ready to kill someone, because that's what they're trained to do. They're in the mode of ready to kill. And then we get the other end of the continuum, where someone, like in my case, has procured someone who knows how to break into someone's account, and let's use the I don't know a nice word to say it, but mess up your whole YouTube account. Mess it up so you don't have control. It's almost like having a checking account, but you can't sign your own checks. Someone else has to. It leads to so many wrongful activities. Hello, Leanne. Hi, everybody. Big Eyes. Yes, they're called creator hackers. Big Eyes just told me the name. They're creator hackers. So these creators who you pee off, who, for whatever reason, do you pee off because they don't like your content? Do you pee them off because you might say something that hits them where it hurts? whatever the reason the creator is peed off at you, they hire a creator hacker. And this creator hacker comes into your account, or, this person who can hack accounts comes into your account, and they hack your account and make it almost intolerable that you even want to do your channel anymore because you feel so invaded. It's like, do you want to really sit in that same chair that someone just robbed your house and sat down and had lunch in that chair, like sat at your table? And I'm not talking Goldilocks here. These aren't Goldilocks people, Do you really want to sit in that chair? No, YouTube becomes kind of like diseased to you as a creator. You feel like there's like your disease. Like, that's why they call it a virus, I guess, because a virus is looked at something that's prolific and that can, go through everything, and there's hardly ever a cure, and so this is where YouTube creators like myself that get hacked. But why'd I get hacked? Why'd I get hacked? At that time, I was complaining about, so now we're talking that continuum. We got the continuum that I got hacked. Okay, no big deal in the world. If you tell your friends today that Gumshoe Graham got hacked, they're not going to be too concerned, right? But if you tell them that the SWAT team ended up at someone's house as a game from another creator, they're going to have some concern. Their ears are going to peak up. So let's talk the middle of the road and even closer to the dangerous. When YouTubers are selling molestation papers of children that we know as an adult is against our rules, whether they're against criminal rules, whether against civil rules, but we know morally that selling children's molestation papers. So why am I bringing that up? Because that's when my channel got hacked, guys. I'm not saying the people that were selling the molestation papers are the one that did it. I would assume it could be them, but I'm not going to point my finger to them because I would assume it's someone fanatical. I don't know if the creators are that fanatical. I think they're more into power. These creators that steal your content are more into money and power. They're not going to be into fanatical behavior as much. But one of their fans might be someone that has the ability to be taken in by someone. See, and that's why I don't like Patreon. And to me, Patreon, you have to buy a subscription so you can hear your creator. It's like you can't come to my house unless you buy a subscription so you can hear me privately. What is so secretive and what is so perfectly boxed up that I can't hear if I'm not a Patreon member? Hi everyone. So that's what I'm saying. I am saying that there is two ends of the continuum. The creators that steal content, they do it so eloquently, they make it look like they didn't do it. There's creators, I've had creators steal my thumbnail thoughts. Like if I have an artistic thought and I say, I'm going to start using the justice scale, you can be assured that right after I start using the justice scales, they use it. If I put music in the forward of my show, they will put music in the forward of their show. If I put music on the back end of my show, they'll put music. So we got these kind of crazy copycat people. They're on that end of the continuum. But what worries me, are they on the other end as well? So what I'm saying, if you're seeing a creator copycatting and doing illegal things, does that tell you that they might be able to go bigger in their criminal activity? Could they bust into your account? Could they? I don't know. That's, I don't have the answers to that. I just have answers that I see there's a lot of crimes with the YouTube crime channel. One day, I watched a skit on one of the YouTube channels. It was on a Saturday morning. And about 4 days later, I'm listening to the same skit. And I said to the creator, I wrote in, I said, hey, wait a minute, I just heard that. How can you be copying almost word for word the skit? She said, oh, no, I'm not copying. Now, you don't know this channel. Yes, I do know this channel. Sorry, I do know this channel. You copy everything. That's why you're big. What they do, so you understand this, they'll take your uniqueness and they'll throw in a few documents with it or a few clips. So they'll take whatever you said uniquely, that's yours, that's your theory, that's your ideas, and then they'll throw in a clip. They'll throw in they might read from a document, like maybe an affidavit or something. They'll mix it up to make it look like they just came up with this. They do this all the time. That's why I say to you guys, I won't watch the channels. I don't want to ever be seduced into making what they're making. And they do it because cling, 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 cling. They get the subscribers, they get the money. They get the Patreon, they get the money. Patreon is a membership. Can you imagine if I said to all of my friends, you can't come to my door unless you put $5 in the box? That's your month. So every month, let's say on the first of the month, you have to put $5 in my box to listen to me talk. That's what Patreon is. Patreon is being a loyal fan and you paying to be, you as the person being loyal to that person. I got my neighbor here. I might have to close soon because I got my neighbor drilling or sawing or something like that. I always got. This is the noisiest neighbor. You guys think it's peaceful? I tell you different. I got a lawnmower, a weed whacker, a leaf blower, right now a drill, constantly. It's the noisiest. I'd rather live in the middle. I'd rather live in Manhattan and know that there's noise than to live somewhere where it's supposed to be peaceful and it never is. Especially when I'm doing this. Are you there? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I'm getting paranoid, huh? No, they're not. They're nice neighbors. They're very nice neighbors. Oh, yeah. Energetic. Very energetic. Very nice and energetic. But I'm doing a live show and comes out with a drill. And if it wasn't that, it'd be a lawnmower. So I guess a drill's better. Yay for the drill. But anyways, yes, that's what religions do. The same thing, Georgie. That's why we're talking about this. So so I've started out with the criminal activity, but it leads into cults. Cults always have an influencer. And they get people to change their behavior. Maybe some of these people normally wouldn't break into your account. Maybe they would feel you know what I mean? Maybe these people that break into accounts wouldn't do it normally, but they have an influencer that's making them feel that they need to be dutiful. And the only studies that have ever been done about how you become a cult person if you have the cultic personality, is the only personality type that they can figure out is that you're an open person. So be careful. If you're an open person, then that could lead you to be supple to any kind of cult, whether it's a creator cult, whether it's Chad Daybell cult, you know, whatever cult it might be. They try to teach you how to be happy and content. But really, it's about stealing from you. They make you think they're giving you a service so that they can take from you. They do immense love bombing. Yeah, many creators are nearly sensationalists and lack substance and validity. That makes you inviolable. Right now, in Melanie Gibbs' first full interview with Nate Eaton back in May, Nate says to her that in November, Chad and Lori called her separately while she was in Utah with David Warwick. Okay, Stephanie, I'm going to put you on the spot. So you're saying Melanie Gibbs, in her first interview with Nate, says that November, Chad and Lori called her separately. Yes, separately about telling the police that she had JJ. Is that what you're saying, Steph? She says that Chad and Lori called her separately and told her not to answer calls from the police, and then also to say JJ was with her, to say they were at the movie Frozen 2. Yep. Now, I don't know if I'm unique. I'm just not going to play the bullcucker game. We'll call it the bull malaki game. I'm not going to play it here. They're not going to swipe content. And they're not going to swipe your creative juices, and you make a thumbnail and then they make a thumbnail with a justice scale on it. They're not gonna swipe anything that you do and not be alerted that they do. See, when you're in business on Main Street, you have a Main Street association. In those associations, you pan out these differences. You say, hey, wait a minute, I got a dress shop here and I'm selling exotic dresses. Do me a favor and only sell business attire. That's why they have Main Street business associations, because they need to sort out these differences so people aren't stepping on each other's toes. I know it's supposed to be commerce and, you know, you can do that, but no, that's not how a small community gets along. We're a small community in the crime channels. And you can't get along by swiping their ideas and fluffing it up with a few documents or affidavits to make it sound like, oh, you put this together. I mean, the good one was the other day when I talked about Alex joking and laughing with the police officer about 30 minutes after he killed Charles. He's joking and he's laughing. They show it on video that he's laughing and he's saying, oh, the only problem I have, it's not with my head. I'm not nauseous. The only problem I have is I'm a little overweight. Ha, 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 ha. Like it's funny. Like he just killed a man and he's talking about that he's a little overweight. So the minute I said that, you can expect in 2 days, it came right out full force, big creator trying to monopolize on what I say. And that's what pees me off. That's what pees me off. And they even said the 15-year part. They even said, oh, you had a 15-year relationship and you showed no signs of caring that you just shot someone, that you had they said the same things. And they're making big money off it. I refuse to make that money. I refuse, because I'd have to steal too. Because if I wanted to make money, guys, I'd have to steal. I'd have to steal all of their content, all of their thumbnails, all of their music. I'd have to steal, and I'm not being a part of it. I'd have to send people to their channels and tell the people to go over to someone else's channel. It happens every day. They send in someone and they start talking about another channel, or they put the link to the other channel. That is on purpose. It's not that they're just dumb and they don't know what they're doing. This is premeditated, trying to steal your subs to their channel. And that's how the cults operate. And that's why we're talking about this. They love bomb you. Oh, poor me. 10 years ago, I was a victim of X, Y, and Z, and now I'm here on YouTube. So you make these old ladies, and I'm one of those old ladies, so I'm going to say it. You make these old ladies go, oh, I feel so sorry for you, dear. Oh, yes, dear. Oh, you want me to join your page? Oh, you had to run from real bad stuff. We've all had to run from bad stuff, whether it was a bad parent, a bad spouse, a bad aunt or uncle, a bad neighbor. We've all had, there's not one person in this world that didn't have to run from someone bad. But we don't need to do it to seduce their fan base. So they're no longer, in my opinion, a subscriber. They're a fan base. They want them fans. There's a big difference between fans and subscribers. You were the best. A lot of boring and two-winded. One asks for money and flaunts of beauty. Oh, my God. You live and learn. That's growth in life. Yeah, I can't. The beauty stuff gets me because they slap on that lipstick and it's all, they might as well write fake right on their face. Fake. I hate to say it. I love makeup and I love how women put it on. Oh, my God. Some women can really do tricks with makeup. I've told you guys I've never been able to wear it, but they do beauty with it, and it's an art, and I never want to take away that art. It's a beautiful art, what some women can do, but these women don't have that art. They smack their lips through their whole conversation. They're smacking their lips like, are you kidding me? Can you put any more lip gloss on them? It looks like you're trying to snow ski on your lips. They have all day to watch other videos and regurgitate the information with added personal touches and call it their own, and then beg for money to keep their channel. Oh, yes. Oh, and I love how they talk. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, that was so kind of you. They're Lori's. They're Lori's. Oh, it's so kind of you. Oh, that means so much to me. Can you imagine if I said that? It's so fake. It's unbelievable. Like, you think I'm so great that I'm worthy of your dollars. I already told you guys I want $1,000 from each of my subscribers by August 31, or I'm putting my channel down. I'm just kidding. But that I'm just being outrageous because that's how it seems to me. They're taken from people who live on limited incomes, that are fixed incomes usually, people that are not working, they're home because they're either retired or they're on some type of disability or something that has made them stay home. So they're taking these people in $5 a month or $10 or $50 is a lot of money. Yeah, I don't know, Kat. If that's a question to me, Kat says, do you know who you have let in and who have abused what they know? No, I don't. I can't finger point, Kat. I can't. There's too many people. I got it round figured 2,000 subscribers. So how am I going to know of 2,000? And what if they're not even a subscriber? What if they're just some, person that comes in incognito. Bella says, but they say, oh, dyes my hair look all right. Oh, does my hair look all right? Oh, and they fidget with it 1,000 times. It's the worst one. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say what I was just going to say. It's too funny, and it's not meant for YouTube in the sense that it's tasteless on my part. Yeah, and no, that's what pees me off. They'll listen to someone talk all week from a Pinnacle. If you're a creator like myself, a small, very small creator, I think I got a Pinnacle idea. And I'm so excited about that idea. I want to take you there. I want to take everyone that listens to me right to my idea. And then the next day or two, it's someone else's idea. It's very hot, sickening. It really hurts your feelings. It says, who are these people? It really demonstrates. And then they use each other. This is the good one. A small one will want to be on a big one's channel, or vice versa. The small one wants to bring the big one on their channel. They do that because they want to gain those subs. Even though the big one sounds like an IDIOT, they don't care if that person sounds like an IDIOT. They just care about the subs. Go on, yippee. December 8th was the phone call. I just looked it up, but the articles could. No, that was it. Leanne, what do you mean December 8th? December 8th was when Melanie finally went to the police. She waited about 10 days, Leanne, before Melanie GIBB went to the police with the information that Lori made her lie. Take that. Lori had the power to make Melanie GIBB lie to police about where Lori's child, JJ, was. And I'm not going to say Lori's child. It's always been Kay, Charles's, and Larry's child, never Lori's. It was Lori's meal ticket. Somebody was asking when Alex died compared to when they called. 11th, I believe. 11th or the 12th of December. They exhumed Tammy's body on December 11th, and Alex died December 12th. Yeah, no, and even the funny ones, even when they use humor, they're only taking that humor and putting it in your stuff again. So they find crafty ways to take your information and inject it. I'm not going to say names of anyone, but I have a YouTuber that I adore. She's very, very small YouTuber, has small numbers for subscribers, but I think she's going to soar because she is full of her own stuff. She doesn't get it from any place else. She gets it. It comes from within. And then she talks about it. I think she is going to be so big. And the reason I'm not telling you is if I say this, the meanies will go after her. They'll probably try to take down her channel like they've tried to do mine. I mean, so I'm not divulging her because I'm not sharing the wealth. I just want to protect her right now because I'm talking about crime channels who commit crime channels who are on different ends of a continuum of crime. Do they call the SWAT team and almost have your husband killed? That's the one end of the continuum. The other end of the continuum is breaking into your account, stealing your content, stealing your artistic ways. I'm surprised no one's drawn a picture of Chad. I mean, I'm really taken aback that there's not one person out there with a pencil. That's good, that because you all know that I've drawn that picture of Chad, you know, and put it online. I'm just so surprised that they didn't hire someone to do that. This is what they do. They act like they are creators. Oh, and I see some of the big ones being asked questions, they can't answer them because you can't answer what you copycat. Right. No, I noticed that. No, that interview, I'll read what you said, Kat, and then I'll give you my opinion. Did anyone notice that on the interview with Nate, Melanie said that on that call, she asked where are the kids? But she did not ask where are the kids. Wait, but she didn't. Oh, I just messed that up. Sorry. Did anyone notice that on the interview with Nate, Melanie said that on the call, she asked, where are the kids? But she didn't. She only asked about JJ, never Tylee. Why not? Your guess is as good as mine. Did she know Tylee was already gone? I think that's your inference, Kat. Am I right? Is your inference there that Melanie must have known Tylee was already gone? And I'll add to this, and you guys tell me if you think the same. Melanie, Chad, and Lori are taking a walk around the BYU University in Rexburg, right? Chad and Lori are lovingly kissing and hugging and doing whatever they do, right? In September, before Tammy's got killed in October. And why didn't Melanie GIBB ever mention in those interviews, any of them? This leads into what you're saying, Kat. Why didn't Melanie GIBB say, hey, while we're here at the university, I'd love to say hi to Tylee. I'd love to see who her roommates are. I'd love to see, maybe talk to one of, since I teach, even though GIBB teaches BS, but even though I teach, I'd like to talk to, that's what I would do. If I went to someone's university, I wouldn't just walk around watching Chad and Lori try to have, you know what, on the grounds of BYU. I would want to go see Tylee. I would want to go see where she eats her meals. Like, what's their lunchroom look like? What's their, where does the band play for the school? You know, all that kind of stuff. I'd want to know where my so-called best friend's daughter, her new environment. No, I don't think she participated either in the murders. I think she participated in cunning behaviors and in lying behaviors, and she would not be a friend of mine. And that goes to show. That's why she was a friend of Lori's. She's not a friend of Georgie. She's not a friend of Kat. She's not a friend of DJ's or Leanne's or anyone else, Kevin, whoever else is in here, Big Eyes, Stephanie. She's not a friend of any of you guys because you would not pick a friend that Lori would pick. There's no way. There's no way that they're shallow people. Oh, I'm so sorry she can't be as pretty as she'd like to be. Not my pal, says talk a lot of caca. So anyways, that's my beef. My beef is this two ends of the continuum here. And creators want you to get away from other creators because they want your viewership. Every time you view one of their YouTube shows, let's call it a show, then they get some type of financial gain from that. So they send in their little brats, and that's what I call them because this is juvenile. This is like high school crap. They send in their little brats, and they try to steer them over to their channel. They try to segregate. They want them segregated. So to me, they're looking for social power, and that social power gives them money. Now, there's social power for good purposes, and there's social power for bad purposes. But they want it for the money. They want it for the power. She knew Tylee was gone. I think that's why she never asked Lori where the kids are, but she didn't. She only asked about JJ. Then she lied to us all by saying, oh, I asked her where are the kids. Oh, right. She never cared about Tylee. She would have wanted to go see Tylee, and she would have made an effort to see Tylee. I've never had a so-called girlfriend that I didn't have any affinity for her children or any relationship with her children. Never in my life. Her children I actually put before my girlfriend. So there's no way that Melanie GIBB went to that BYU, walked around, saw Chad and Lori acting like teenagers. They must have thought they were going to school there. Lori never went to school, right? Lori, she went to hairdressing school. That takes about 6 months of your life, I think. Right. Yes, usually your girlfriend's kids love you because they know when you come, I'm reiterating what Kat is saying, when you go to their house or they come to you or you meet out somewhere in the public, they are just as excited as your girlfriend to see you because you have made it an inclusive relationship. You haven't segregated. Yes, Aunt Kate. Auntie Kate, you're right on it. So these creators, they want to have this potential influence to affect change in another person. But if you're a follower to begin with, that's a very combustible area. You should not be following anyone. And you should not be doing dirty deeds for them. You should not, let's put it this way. This is a good way to put it to Melanie GIBB. Melanie GIBB did every dirty deed for those people, right? She went to check on where Brandon was with the kids. She went and investigated the neighbor. She went over and talked to the neighbor. She didn't just do a drive-by. She stopped her car, got out of her car, and talked to the neighbor about where the kids were. She is bigger manipulator than she tries to be. She's such a big manipulator, we almost believe her. The minute we start doubting her, we want to go back and we want to believe her because we're second guessing ourselves. We're going, wait a minute. Is this Melanie GIBB or is this someone else? What did Leon? I've never had a friend where I knew they were cheating on their husband either. I'm not the kind of friend because I'll call you out. Yes, and you're not. And even if you knew they were cheating on their husband, you wouldn't hold that relationship with the new guy in big esteem. You wouldn't make it like that was bigger than the relationship they were already in. That's what Melanie did. She made it sound like her and Chad and Lori having that relationship was bigger than Lori and Charles. So she held that as a powerful relationship. It was almost like the queen and the king. Yes. Well, by breaking into channels, by not having the integrity that you expect people to have. These are crime channels and they're committing crimes. Can you believe it? Crime channels, whether it's the creator themselves or the people that are their so-called followers, their fan base. They commit the crimes. They tip off. I've gotten a lot of you guys have sent me a video of a documentary or of something I should learn about, but you're not sending it to me because you want me to steal some creator's content. You're sending it to me because you found it interesting, and you're wondering if I find it interesting, and if I do, will I talk about the interesting parts? No, these people aren't doing this. They're sending them little clips of what you say, and they mimic it. They put it in, they mimic it. I had a girl, how many times have you heard the word sachet in all of YouTube creator land? Sachet. I use it. It means you run away kind of feeling full of yourself. You're dancing sort of. You got a little swagger to you, right? Well, not even a week after I say it, another YouTuber says it. It's crazy. They steal everything. It's crazy. I don't know how they call themselves crime creators. You ask them a crime question and they can't even answer it. You see them on these like mini talk shows, like someone will have one person on their show and the other will have and they can't answer a question. Yes, they will try to bully you into submission. It's very sick. You are so right. Crime channels committing crime. And it's people, people that don't follow it. Like, if you haven't had enough experience, this would mean nothing to you. What I'm saying will mean that you'll say, oh, what a complainer. But the minute you start following all the crime channels, and we'll say that word, patterns. You'll see a pattern of how they steal. If you say you're having a Sunday morning show every Sunday, you be sure that someone else is going to announce that same week they're having a Sunday show. It's unrelenting. Tylee's weight issues are indicative to trauma from my viewpoint. Yes, DJ. I wonder if Lori ever got ADHD diagnosed for kids so she could take their Adderall or stimulant. Probably, DJ. Oh, I like that. Taka Lada Kaka says, be someone you want to be around. Don't be perfect either, but don't steal. You know the difference from sticking your hand in the cookie jar. And don't tell me you don't, Melanie Gibb. Melanie Gibb had her hand in a proverbial cookie jar many times, and she knew exactly what she was doing. Yeah, Bella. Yeah. No, Bella, though, no girlfriend would make me lie to a police about the well-being of children. That was a Well child check. That wasn't a check just to see if they had breakfast this morning. That was a well child check. And those well child checks are done for a purpose. They need to see how that kid is relative to that time, not 10 days later when you decide to be honest. What DJ say? Alex worked as a truck driver and stimulances big border to Mexico close. Yes. Oh yeah, even Texas, Mexico, and Arizona. They can go over, and that's all the border patrols say. Did you buy any prescriptions when you're coming back into the US? It's all they ask, and you just say no. And you're scot-free. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. And what do cults do? They want your money, right? You think they want all poor people? Of course they don't. They want people that have some type of income that has an asset to give to their cult. Yes, of course I do, Kat. I want Melanie Pulowski behind jail, behind bars. Yeah. Kat saying Melanie Gibb tried to backtrack and ask where both the kids were when she realized she was just asking for one. She tried to lie away like she did care where Tylee was. So so I guess what I'm writing is cannonball. I guess what I'm writing is don't fall into the love bombing from the YouTube crime channels. There's some good ones. I might not be under that category. I can't judge myself. You judge for yourself. But don't get into the love bombing. They try to embrace you. They try to tell you a bad story, something to make you sympathetic about them. So when you go to every YouTube channel that you go to, think about what you know of that person. Now, I'm not saying a medical condition because that's different. You can't help who you are with a medical condition, but you can help on how you try to attract your followers. Are you going to attract them because you want them to feel sorry, and that keeps them connected to you? Yeah, and that's the other thing. Are the narcissistics the YouTube creators, or are they the YouTube subscribers? Well, I'd say narcissists could be the YouTube creators, and they get their flying monkeys in their channels to do the bad work for them, just like all narcissists do. Who's honest to a fault, Danielle? Yeah, Leanne says both. I agree. You can have both. But I think a lot of times they attract diabolical flying monkeys, people that do the dirty deeds for them. Like is Alex Cox a flying monkey? Did he do the dirty deeds for Lori and Chad? Are they the narcissist couple and had a flying monkey? Yeah, I haven't read that in Feel the Fire. I feel the cold in her. I have never felt the fire in Melanie Danielle. I feel the real cold. I feel the chill. I feel the polar Arctic. Wasn't the movie she was supposed to be going to with JJ Frozen 2? That's what I feel from Melanie Gibb, Frozen 2. Oh, she had the baby? Melanie Pulowski had the baby? Or just a real Joan of Arc? Yeah, I'm not showing you myself in my bathing suit here in Florida. You can be sure of that. Alex and Lori had something closer than a brother. Oh, yes, DJ. Good point, DJ. Alex and Lori definitely had something incestual. You know, I'm not going to say on what end of the continuum that incest relationship was, but it was definitely an incestual relationship. And I think they all have it in that family. They're all robotic. I've never had to pay anywhere in my life to feel like I belong. So keep that in your back pocket. They had a financial plan. Yes, Kevin, they had a financial plan. She has never so much as shed one tear for those children, but to hear her drone on about poor Chad and, excuse me, Lori and their love for each other is disgusting. Of course, it's crazy. Poor Lori. She can't look as pretty as she would like. Poor Lori. When Nate Eaton in Hawaii was asking her where her children are and the whole world is worrying about them, she goes, "That's great." Who would say that's great? She is so full of herself. She knows where her two kids are under the ground in Rexburg in her new husband's property. And she's saying to Nate Eaton, "That's great." Like, big deal. Like, don't bother with me with minor stuff. Me and Chad are on to bigger stuff. We're dancing. We're doing our little sashay down on the beach. Who knows if we're with Moroni in the temple doing what I heard she had to do with Moroni every day to be a goddess. Yeah, it's power incest, right, Georgie? Yeah, you never know, Kat. Kat says maybe Mel had the hots for Lori. There's been an inference that they could have been sister wives or something. I don't, there's that inference going around. Yes, no, Kat said that good, Danielle. Exactly. She showed more emotion for Lori not being able to be as pretty as she'd like than to about her own situation that she never did anything to save anybody. Why didn't she say, wouldn't a normal person say, "Hey, wait a minute. Charles called me over July 31st, 8 o'clock in the morning, and he brought me in his house, and he told me X, Y, and Z," which I know he told her she wants me killed. She wants me dead. I don't trust her with the kids. Okay? That was July 31st. He ends up killed, dead. And she doesn't say anything. She says nothing. She doesn't call anyone. And what about that? Okay, let's put it this way. Now let's bring LDS in it for a second. Didn't Charles have his Baptist with him in the car when the police broke into his house January 31st? Correct? Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you, Elizabeth. That's all we have to use is common sense. We don't need any big theories put in it, that bring us out into Never land. We just need to keep common sense and it will guide us. Plus, conscience. I wonder if they went back as far as they could with Lori, electronic information on the internet. Yeah, it would be a gold mine, wouldn't it, DJ? Cox family practice planned given. We give others a way of dying and help our finance. Yes, I believe when they let Stacy go, their daughter, Janice and Barry's daughter, which would have been Lori's sister, I think when they let her go, I would bet you right now, Kevin Whalen, that they had money on her head, that they had a big life insurance on Stacy Cope's head. Stephen Cope said it in the court papers. He said they wanted her to die. They urged her to die. They told her that the better place was beyond the veil, so to speak. So who tells their daughter, we want you to go? Beyond the veil, oh, you'll do good there. Unless you have a life insurance policy or something financially on their head. Great, DJ. Yeah. Everyone thank Kevin for lending us such beautiful music on my channel. Oh, planned gibbing. So there isn't much difference from one crime organization to another. So am I going to end up, are the island police going to be knocking on my door because someone's called them, like another creator, happened to her twice, happened to another one once? Is a creator going to ask for money and say it's for a certain cause, and that it never becomes, that certain cause never materializes? They just took the money and ran. Are other creators going to sell molestation papers that are illegal to sell, and everyone else just drop down on their knees and follow them and do the same? Read them out loud? Am I going to get lambasted and my YouTube broken into? Hey, when does the hell stop? When does the ugly stop? Where is the ugly coming from? Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Mark Black. I gotta play you guys something. If I can. Oh, I won't be able to. No, but where does the ugly stop, guys? Where does it all? You're all welcome, says Kevin. Yeah, we need to revamp the insurance industry and not have Zalemas working in it. Barry Cox worked in it. Who else worked in it that we know of? People that want to use it to benefit. So somehow I've wanted to make the connection between being a YouTube creator talking about crime and being a YouTube creator that's committing crime as well. There was a lot of YouTube creators around the Watts time that actually went against the victims. How can you ever go against the victims? How can you say this victim deserved to die? How can you do that? How can you morally, how can your business plan and have in it as a YouTube creator that these people should have died? Meaning Shanann and the 3 kids. There were YouTube creators supporting her death. And they're still around today. And they're still going on with their show. And they're crazier than Looney Tunes, and their grandmothers and their sisters and their uncles and whatever else not. They're crazier than Looney Tunes. So now I'm going to have to say, watch out for the ugly, but also watch out for the Looney Tunes. Great, Leanne. I liked your, yes, the ugly starts and stops with you. Just don't get seduced. That's the moral of today's story. Don't get seduced. If they come after you with a sad story, beware. When you go to anyone's channel and you've heard about a sad story from their life, beware. That's what cult leaders do. They give you a sad story, but then they tell you, oh, because of that sad story, I'm going to bring you this way. There's a big F word that I'm not going to say, that you have to say that word and them. That word and them. Don't buy into it. Oh, yes, JJ51. Of course, there's a lot that, it's not just the family. It's, yeah, you said it, in the cult. JJ say there's more people that need to be sent to prison out of the Cox family in the cult. And that is why I have said from day one that I hope at some point they implement the RICO statute, which gives the prosecutors the prosecutorial strength to charge everyone involved with the same offense. In other words, just because you made the phone call, you don't get out of it. You get charged with the same offense as the top charge that they have. So the whole crew goes down. And that's when they use that tactic, that's when they turn. When they use something like the RICO, where everyone's going to get charged with the same offense, then the people start rolling. About the dorm room, BYU, normal friends ask, the rest just don't care. SRF sent it. I would ask, you would ask, we would all ask, but not them. They are not normal. Of course, Bella. She didn't care about Tylee's dorm room or Tylee's new friend or what the lunchroom was like. Like, I'm always curious, what are they feeding these teenagers? Are there soda machines that these kids are going to be going to 24/7? Or do they restrict that? You know what I mean? Like certain hours, like you can get a soda from 3 to 5 and something like that. Are the schools thinking the same way a parent would think? No, I don't want to give you 24/7 Pepsis all day long, or, you know what I mean? So yes, thank you. That's a good way to put it, Kevin. He says Tropical Storm Rico needs to blow through Rexburg. What did Leanne say? I like it when you guys say well said. Then I can go back and read what she said. Thank you. Let's go way back. Looks mean more than empathy with the Coxes. based on power and incest. So yeah, this talk was about the similarities. Oh, I'm on fire. She's on fire. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on fire, all right. I'm peed off because the similarities are close. You get people under your tutelage so that you can use them to do bad things. What does this sound like? If you're using your subscribers to hunt down information from other creators and they report back with that novel information, that's saying a lot. Oh, I'm going to give that information. I'm going to give that information to the other creators so that they can make a video on what you just said. Those are your thoughts. They're not the other creators' thoughts. Get your own thoughts. Oh, prophets. Oh, yeah. And then that's the other thing. When you prophesize on YouTube, thank you for saying that word, DJ. When you prophesize that you know more than them, I don't care. Do you guys get an essence that I don't care if they take down my channel? I'm very antisocial that way. I don't care if they take, because guess what? My channel's been obliterated. So why would I care about it? They've come in and they've changed everything in my channel from day to day. Who knows when I get off this live who's going to be on my channel? Who's going to be the person that's able to change mechanisms? I believe that Lori's mental issues started when she was young and her sister was ill and died. The time frame, I feel, is significant to what has transpired to her adult life and mentality. I do too. I just think that there are some families, Ciceroos, that or Ciceroos. I think there are some families that value power and money over anything else in the family. Nothing else matters. Power and money. And they don't even care which way those comes, as long as they have the both, the power, the money. And so when you're grown up in that type of family, you have to come out disturbed. That's my opinion, unless you're unique. And you got to be very, very unique. Chad most likely has met apostles and perhaps a prophet. He was a best-selling LDS author. Rico is key word. Lori and Benda are pressed from the same pod. Lori might be Bender's type. Yeah, if the numbers end in 666, DJ, I agree with you. Yes, thank Kevin Whelan and Mark Black. Mark Black has some phenomenal music, as I told you, every Sunday. And let's hear from Kevin if it's different. But every Sunday, I think they might be 5 hours or 4 hours before me. So every Sunday, early evening, sometime in Ireland, where Mark Black is out of, he has a live Facebook concert, I call it. He calls it live streaming. I call it a concert because it feels like you're in a concert. So go right ahead and go to Mark Black's Facebook and watch him live stream. Watch him put on a beautiful concert. And because I'm going to do it, and I'm going to, I love his gritty voice. He has the perfect bluesy, gritty voice. Yes, they walk around the BYU is a big red flag. Oh, they were so full of themselves, Ciceroos. So it's 4:00 Eastern time. Okay, on Facebook. So then you go backwards 3 hours to the West Coast. So will Wait a minute. So it'll be 7 o'clock for West Coast, Kevin, for Mark's concert on Facebook, Mark Black. Yeah, that's a big red flag, Ciceroos. What were they doing walking around BYU, kissing and holding hands, and Melanie not saying, aren't you concerned Tylee's going to see you? Aren't you concerned? No, she was worried about Tammy saying, what about Tylee? Tylee, they just dismissed Tylee. 1 o'clock for California? Wait a minute, we going backwards? I thought we had to go forward. Kevin, is that right? I thought it would be, if it's 4 o'clock my time. Oh, don't ask me math. The sun sets in the west. So doesn't the brain. The brain sets in the west. Okay, they'll figure it out. Go onto Mark's Ireland Facebook page. I'll put a link up here. I do have links in other shows. And I'll put a link when I finish today. And watch Mark S. Black's concert. You won't regret it. Even if, like, you do what I do, I'll do the dishes or I'll clean up my kitchen or something like that, and I'll put his concert on. You can have it as your background noise. You can drive with it in your car. You can try to put it on your kayak. Okay. I love the blues too, Leanne. Always have. I just saw, I don't know if you guys know him, but I just saw James Montgomery maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. That's the last blues singer that I've seen in concert. And when I say in concerts, the size of a movie theater hall, it's not that big. But yeah, I saw James Montgomery Blues Band. He's a big harmonica player. So that's the last one I've seen. Because I can't see many. Let's see what he says. I wanted to see Jack Bruce. He played with Cream, but he died before I got to see him. Anyone ever told of similarity of Salt Lake to Dead Sea in Israel, or how both resemble? No, I didn't know that. So if you look at them from the sky, no, this wasn't a concert. It was just a room. It was a movie theater oh no, that's untrue. Okay, so I saw James Montgomery and I saw Herman Hermits in like a school auditorium just in the last few years. So that's the last ones I've seen. Have you heard of Herman Hermits? Mrs. Robinson? Mrs. Robinson, that animal one. Yeah. I'm being quiet. I'm letting you guys talk. Oh, great. Kevin says if you comment on Mark's concert today, tell them I sent you. Hermits growing up. My first crush was Peter Nome. I know. I just saw him. He gave my granddaughter. We were. Oh, and then she retracts it. How did that get retracted, Irene? Did you take it off, or did someone else? I don't understand why that got retracted. There was nothing bad about that message. But he gave my granddaughter and I all kinds of stuff. He gave us guitar picks, T-shirts, stickers. I mean, a whole array of stuff. Irene said she loved Peter Nome. He still looks the same. He hasn't changed one bit. Irene, not one bit. He looks just like he did when he was 20, and now he's like 66, I'd say. Go on his website, and you will see him. He goes through the car washes. Oh, I see. So we know who your crush was, Irene. Peter Nome. He looks identical. He lives in Montecito, California. One town over from where I used to live. Who else lives there, to name names? I'm trying to think. Oh, Kevin Costner. If you live in that area, you watch all of his movies for free. They have a movie theater there, and they run all of Kevin Costner's movies. So if you don't have anything to do on a Sunday, you can go and watch his movies for free. Does she have? Of course not, Stephanie. Why would these women have a job? They don't even know how to talk yet. That's my opinion. She don't have a job. She has a job being a liar. That's my opinion. I'm being sarcastic. Does anyone know if Melanie Gibb has a job? Oh, yeah, Leanne. At least your first crush was human. Mine was Fred from Scooby-Doo. Mine was Apollo. I had a crush on Apollo, talking about being in love with a god. I was a little, by the way. What does that mean, Leanne? You said, do you have a moderator? No, Irene retracted. She made a nice statement. She said a crush was on Peter Nome, and then she retracted it because she made a spelling error. Yeah, she's running for president as an independent. Kevin says he thinks Gibb is running for president as a... Oh, she's a write-in, Kevin. Please, everyone write in Melanie Gibb for president. If NSA really has archived some burner phone conversations between Lori and Bednar, the trial could take months and cost millions. I have heard. Wow. I don't know anything about that, DJ. Lori has a lot of conversations, but I thought they were all in portals. Does the NSA have portal rights? Can they infiltrate portals? I'm just being a wise guy. So, guys, I've said my piece. We got a continuum of crime on crime channels. We got crime from people stealing content, stealing artistic creativity, whether it's thumbnails or artwork or whatever, but it's more about content. They steal a lot of your ideas. If you happen to see something that's unique, they take that unique idea and they attach it to documents, and they make it like, oh, this document gave me this idea. They do this all the time. This video gave me this idea. No, that video didn't give you your idea. You're a pain in the neck person that comes to my channel or someone else's channel gave you that idea by reporting it back. They might take clips. They might take an actual like video of what you say and do, and then they send it to the creator, and then within 2 days, a week, you're going to hear the same thing over again. I'm not saying there isn't coincidences. There's lots of coincidences, but this is too much. This is too much. And watch out for the big ones. They're the bigger the channel, the bigger the crook. And that's all I got to say. Tylee told her mom she looked like a drug dealer with all of her burnt. Yeah, I do remember that, Irene. In Hawaii, her friend April Raymond in Hawaii was sitting somewhere with them outside, and Lori was going through all of her phones, and Tylee said, "You look like a drug dealer with all of." Yeah, what were all those phones for? It's something nefarious, right? She carried individual phones for each person. Weird, huh? Oh, I know, Kat. If we could have ever taken Tylee in, we would have given her a good home. Oh, would we have a blast with her and show her what it's like to be free and not controlled by a tyrant of a mother. So I got to wake up kids, and we're taking off because the waves here on the West Coast are so good right now because of the impending storms that we're going to go right to the ocean and go surfing. Yesterday, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not a surfer. I don't want to lie to you and say, oh, I try to surf. And yesterday, it took all of my might to even get up on the board, and the riptide pulling you back was unbelievable. I had more struggle taking the board from the beach to where you wanted to surf. That was more of a struggle for me because of the riptide. Yeah, and yeah, thanks. And don't fall into it. I've heard some of my little I call them scouts. The people that come into your channel, some people call them trolls and whatnot, but I call them scouts. They're people that come to steal what you're saying, and they report it back to the big creator. Okay. So when those scouts come into my channel, sometimes I can figure out that they're here. Like I can figure out exactly. They'll always say like a compliment, and then they'll smash you. So they'll say one thing that's good and one thing that's bad. That's very indicative of a scout, because they're really saying, I like your channel, but not really. Like you're with that said, just beware of the backlash I'm going to get from this show, because I'll get it. I'll get a lot of backlash. If she was so savvy with the burner phones, how come Alex's phone was caught at Chad's on burial days? Perhaps setting him up. Oh, yeah. They were always conniving. We can't believe their realities. We cannot believe their realities whatsoever. Tylee told her mom she looked like a drug dealer. Yeah. Yeah. Somewhere I thought Charles had said that, DJ. Somewhere I thought Charles had said that or someone had said she had to go to temple daily to meet up with, a secret rendezvous with Moroni. Can you imagine that? A secret rendezvous. So, guys, I'm going to call it a day. I'm so glad you came, and so be it. I'm sorry to bring bad news on Sunday. I wish I could bring you better news. I'm just saying, watch out for criminal activity, and more so, watch out for moral wrongdoings on YouTube creators, and watch out how they try to sabotage others and create more harm than they already do by only thinking of money. Because at the end of the day, it's only about the money. And when you only think about the money, it's only about ugly. It is. So have a great day, everybody. Watch out for the ugly. And go to Mark's concert today, whatever time, in Ireland. Mark S. Black in Ireland on Facebook today. Okay, it'll be later this afternoon, depending upon where you are in the world. And I'll give you this. I want to give you an idea of his music. I'm going to play this one for you. Then I'll play another one. So hold tight. Be good, beautiful people. Watch out for the ugly. Treat me so well, baby. All I have is treat me so well, baby. All I have is all I want. And forgive me when I go, 'cause I've got rambling on. I've got rambling on. I've got rambling on. I've got rambling on. Will you take good care? Yeah, will you take good care of mine? Will you take good care of mine? Will you take good care? Will you take good care of mine? Will you take good care of mine? And please forgive me when I go, 'cause I've got rambling on. Hold tight, guys, because I'm going to try to play you another one before you close. If you're still there, hold tight. I'm going to look up another one that I really like, if I know how to look it up. Okay. Kevin just sent me this a few days ago, and he thinks it can represent Charles, because Charles was trying to do the right thing. Charles Vallow. He was always trying to do the right thing. So I'm looking for it right now. And here it is. It's by Mark Black. It was on his Ghost in the Fire album, I believe. And it's called Try. Go to his concert today. Facebook, Mark S. Black. I just don't know how to play the song. Screaming in the rain. But it's all bent up. Moments are made for nothing. The kind of girl you fall in love with. So that explains the bloody madness. Running around screaming in the rain. But it's all bent out of shame. This thing that we've made. The simple fact it still remains. If you believe, then it never ends. I don't want to waste it. This precious thing, if there's a chance, don't go walking out the door. And it's hard to turn around and mean it from the heart. We all must try. Yeah, we all must try. Alive to save the skin. And from within it raised up and drove a man to his knees. The second grip and the nail scratching sound, the thumping walls in this blues by town. Screaming release in the north, please. The seed is firmly in the ground. The roots are down below the trees. Yeah, and I don't wanna fuck around and leave it on the chance.
Turn around and meet us from the heart. There's a chance. Meet it from the heart. There's a chance. There's a chance. We almost tried, but we almost tried. The days of sourdough are over. Because live sports are back. Feeling good about the sound of it. Seeking to find the miracle. You only want to hear the music. Other times you want to turn it down. Sometimes you're gonna build it up. Sometimes you're gonna tear it down. Sometimes we never really care. It's time the sun goes up all time. You sing it out when you're driving to work. You lay it down, four on the floor. When the weekend comes, you're ready to go. Saturday nights, for hitting the wall. Sunday's the day for playing the blues. Monday's the day to start over. One day I'll be on the Wall Street, gonna live close to the ocean, ride a horse up and down the beach, watch the sun go down over the water, till that day when you're satisfied. The weekly grind of life is suicide. Don't ever use a fork to stop the tide. The words can't mend more than time divides. You sing it out when you're driving to work. You lay it down, four on the floor. When the weekend comes, you're ready to go. Saturday nights, for hitting the wall. Sunday's the day for playing the blues. you down. Another night in another town. do it at the exact same time.